Hi there. Today we're going to make something that you might have lying around the home, but something family friendly. You can do with kids, you can do as a party favor, you can do with maybe some decorations that you want to repurpose and not necessarily throw away. So behind me I have, if you want to use for New Year's, a graduation party, the party blowers that you would use, like an air horn, a foil horn actually. We took this and we made this wreath here, and I'm going to show you how to do that today. So what I used to complete this entire project, I actually took 4 packs of these party horns, 8 in a pack, and it worked out really well. So 8 times 4, that's how many we had total. I have 2 separate plates here for the center. We picked this one because of the mentionables in the center. And if you weren't necessarily getting ready for New Year's, you could do it for graduation, or if you had a birthday party, it's just a simple paper plate. And then I utilized ribbon because there's no glue, no stapling involved in this project, just a lot of threading with holes that I did with the hole puncher, and also a pair of scissors if you needed it, especially to cut the ribbon, and then of course tape. So what I did was I took apart the packaging carefully. Now, if these are used or left over from a New Year's party, let's say they're scratched or there's a piece missing, don't worry, we can camouflage that. So I decided what I wanted for my color scheme, and that's what I did with all 4 packs. So I laid it out and going every other. You're going to want to have the mouthpiece that you put in your mouth towards the center, and don't worry, we'll cover that up because it doesn't necessarily look aesthetically pleasing. So it's good to have these flattened, and then I have all of the inseam facing me. So what is face down on the table is what you're gonna see hanging up, and what we did to hang this was the ribbon on the end and the wreath hanger. It's very light, it won't weigh down a door or anything, a fixture that you want to put it on, even if you put a little tack in the wall. So as you flatten these out, the flatter the better actually. I tried to, when we first did this, attach them at the mouthpiece. It wasn't really working. So we tried glue, we tried a couple different things, and ribbon seemed to be the best bet. So actually, since it doesn't involve much of tackiness or that glue, the super glue, a hot glue gun, it would be easy to do this with small children. Not even a lot of tying involved, just at the very end. So once you have these flattened and the color scheme that you want, I know you might not want to put like rival colors next to one another, or I have like some red and green going on here. I thought it looked okay, even though we're after the holidays. What I did was I took one of these party horns where the inseam was, and I'm going to use the hole puncher twice on each horn. So you're actually going to, on the left and the right side, make 2 holes. And what we're going to do with that is we're going to end up threading this through there to attach each of them together.
Show you that up close.
And it does take a little bit of time to get all of these hole punched. So if you're doing this with a couple of kiddos, that would be a good job for them. You do want to watch that you give yourself probably at least a 1/2 inch from the top. That way, once the ribbon is threaded through, it won't pull actually through it so that it doesn't come off your door, because you do want it to stay in one piece. So if you notice, I'm going to start putting these. So again, the mouthpiece is down. We're eventually going to make them threaded in a circle, almost like the center. And then at that epicenter, we'll put the plate of whichever festivity you want to celebrate. Like I said, New Year's, graduation, whatever it may be. So this part here, this is the messiest part. So you'll get a couple of different colored flurries. Then when you go to pick it up, don't be alarmed if you raise this wreath up and all of them start falling out. It's okay. It's just from the center. So if you do have some of these that are, like I said, scratched, or maybe they're bent from the holiday, if you're reusing any, don't worry about it. Just put those towards you and put the cleaner part of the party horn in the center. The colors don't matter. You can do whatever colors you choose. So if you are doing this for a graduation party, I know my colors would have been blue and gold. You could take and do like alternating blue and gold, and those would look really nice. So with a cheap spool of thread, I have 8 of them started here. I'm going to keep this in one piece. Don't unravel it all. And then what you're going to do is thread. I started from my right, your left, through one side, and then through the other, and then just pull. Then what you're going to do is you're going to keep going at that, and you're going to have 8 of them. Now, to give this some stability so that it doesn't flop around on you, or if you're putting this on a door and the wind might be a little breezy that day, we're going to use some tape in the center to give it kind of like a spine or a backbone. And then I know it might not be the prettiest, but that's where you use the plate to cover it up. So then once you thread it through one side, you could do it the wrong way like I just did. You're going to want to go inward. Don't go outward. Go inward and then out through the other side. Because what this does is it disguises your ribbon. You can't even see it from the outside until you go to hang it at the hook. So I went ahead and strung a couple of these. And if you noticed, I wanted them to each touch, meaning the color portions to touch. But I'm using the mouthpiece to point towards the center. And again, I've had to rethread a couple of these on my own. But you're going to want to go inward with your ribbon if you decide to use string, whatever you might have handy. You don't necessarily have to have the exact supplies to make this work. Now, the portion about this that I said to use tape that might not be as appealing to the eye, it's okay. We're going to camouflage this. So since I have 4 packages, we're going to do these every quarter. So I'm going to take packing tape and go in the center. This is again going to give you the stability, kind of like the backbone. And the closer you get these, the better it's going to look, as to make it like a fan in a sense. So it might not look as pretty, and that's totally okay. But here you have your first section of 4. So I went ahead and I hole punched these just so you didn't have to watch me do that. And these are ready to go. Again, if you forgot, you take the seam inward to you, hole punch on the left and the right side. And then you're going to, again, go with the same color scheme. So I'm going to want to pick up where I left off, purple, and then on down. So I know after parties, sometimes you might have a lot of leftover supplies and you've spent quite a bit on them, or maybe you had a theme, or you just want something to look a little nice. And I know if you're on a budget, reusing, repurposing, definitely not contributing extra to your trash, just something different. And something, again, that you could do with smaller kids. They might enjoy doing the hole punching job, or they might enjoy the threading portion. Totally your discretion. See, got to go inward. I tried to do it again. Wrong side. So, okay, so we went ahead and we did 2 bags threaded here. And if you notice, I'm pushing them towards the center, also trying to keep these colors flat. You want to keep control of this. So again, I'm going to grab more packing tape. I know, not necessarily the prettiest, but I promise you won't see it. You won't see it at all. And then if you need a guide, especially if you're working with little kiddos, you're going to want to hold the plate down, whichever plate you decide or decor you put in the center, and make that your guide to give you just how far of a circumference you're going to go. So the tape, again, you won't see, but it's giving you that spine, that stability. And again, we're just going to keep threading more, so you'll come back and you'll see another section of the 4th done as well.
Go.
All right, so we have another pack down, another 8 here. And this is the part where it gets a little tricky. You are going to want to get it a curve so that it makes that wreath shape or that circular pattern. You're going to want to overlap a couple. Now, again, doesn't look as pretty, but the overlapping plus the tape is going to give you even more stability. And I even have a couple here that you can't see. They're a little scratched. But again, I put that towards the side that's going to face me and not necessarily out towards party guests, or if you hang this on your door like anybody that would walk past. So we're starting to get the base here. And if you stretch it out, you're going to want to keep all of the party horns even. That is the key to this project, so it doesn't look a little discombobulated. So, okay, so we've strung the last pack. I'm going to go ahead, grab some tape, and you're going to notice some holes here, and that's perfectly fine. You didn't do anything wrong. What's going to happen is when we go to pick this up, I'm going to fan it out so that it looks like there isn't space in between. And trust me, it will work. It will eventually look like this one behind me, but better since this is our second time doing this. And then I'm even going to show you what it looks like with the decoration in the center. So the mouthpieces make eventually a circle. Doesn't have to be the prettiest. And then what you're going to do is you're going to fan these out. And if you need them to touch, that's fine. Again, give yourself some more tape and it'll give you that stability that you need. So when you get them to push and then the colors all form together, you're going to have one full wreath. Okay, so we have all of them here, all 8 of the 4 packs, or I should say 8 pieces of the 4 packs. And you're going to have 2 strings left over from where you start and then at the end. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull these really taut, really tight here. And again, if it gives you some gaps, that's okay. You can always fluff them out. And again, if you end up storing this and using this from holiday to holiday or celebration, you'll always want to just fluff it out like you would a normal wreath. So the final ribbon at the end, you can make however long, however short you want. The only thing I don't recommend, I tried curling the ribbon when we first tried this, and it didn't work very well. If you do like doing those little curly cues, those might be nice to add some little extras, little flair to your party center. And then give yourself a knot there to hang. And then what you're going to do is, if you want to flip it over, fine. If you don't, fine. You're going to take, this would be the top of your wreath, your party horn wreath. You're going to take the plate of your choice, your design. You're going to put it right in the center here. And then that's going to be what is the most eye appealing. So you want it on straight and you want it to match where the top of this hook is. And I just use tape because then if I wanted to change it out for something, let's say at a graduation party, here's something with a little more color, a little bit more flair. And again, you could do it in your school colors of choice. You put it down in the center. So let's go ahead and I'm going to stick this down and we'll be back to show you the final product. Okay, so here we go. You're going to take this and you're going to flip it because again, this is the back, and go to the front like that, maybe a little bit more gracefully than what I just did. And then we already have tape on the back of our plate. And again, this is the top. So I'm going to center this and you're going to press it down. Look at that.
Ooh.
And again, you can fluff it out, make it look a little fuller, but there you go. You can make a couple of these. You could, if you have a couple kiddos in your family and a lot of party decor, you can put, see who makes the best one, maybe have a family contest. So easy storage too. It'll fold up into 4s and you can put it away for your next celebration. So there you go. Something for graduation, something for New Year's, light and easy to hang and even easier to do. So there you are.
Thank you guys so much.